Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Words for Life, the podcast where we look for inspiration and motivation in quotes, phrases, ideas, and people. Today, we're going to look at the idea of improvement. So, the idea is this: have you forgotten your responsibility? Your responsibility to yourself to improve. Oftentimes, we get busy working on the things around us, whether it be our families, our relationships, our children, our work, any of those things external to ourselves. We get very caught up in what is around us and really forget about ourselves. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that no one else is going to work on you but you. So, have you forgotten your own responsibility to yourself? Have you been keeping yourself busy with all the things around you and not taking the time to really focus on yourself? This is extremely important because, as I just said, no one else is going to do this for you. So you have to make a conscious effort to go work on improving yourself. Now, improving yourself could be anything from taking some time to meditate and focus on what are your goals in life and what do you want to do. It could be also exercising and improving your physical appearance or your physical health, whatever might be the case. But doing some exercise, cardiovascular health is another thing to work and improve on. Then there's also your emotional well being. Are you surrounding yourself with good type of information? Are you really creating positivity in your life to better grow your own resilience as well as create a positive place within your life? These are just a few examples of how you can work to improve on yourself. And there isn't really a right way or a wrong way as long as you are improving. Could be reading more, meditating, as I mentioned. It could also be going and making sure that you are eating nutritious foods. But the point being is going back and focusing on yourself because it is so easy, and we often do it, and I'm included in this, to get wrapped up in what is around us and really start focusing on things that are external, because sometimes it's a lot easier to see changes in things that are external to us than the things that are internal to us. For example, if you are slowly climbing the ladder and then suddenly you jump high within your work position, that's great and that's important. But are you doing it at the detriment of your own improvement? Are you spending more time and longer hours being in meetings and learning things about the craft rather than working on your own knowledge of your own health or your own knowledge of how to improve your well being? One of the best phrases I like to use is life work balance, especially in this case, where work is a part of life, not the other way around. So it's really important to remember where you're putting your focus on and is it where it should be. An easy way to do this is to sit down and figure out you have two buckets and you start taking all the time. Time is the easiest thing to really put into this. Amount of effort becomes a little amorphous, so it's harder to use. But let's say time. You go look at those and you say, okay, how much time am I putting into my work versus how much time am I putting into my relationships or my learning, my skill, things like that? You can go and take those two things and start to measure them and in the amount of time you're spending. If you find that you are spending more time on your work and growing that than you are on growing your relationships or your mental well-being, whether it be meditation, emotional resilience, whatever be the case, if you are finding that you're spending more time on work and less time on those, you probably need to do a reevaluation. Now, there are periods in life where putting a lot of focus and time on your job and your career is important and it shouldn't be neglected, especially if that is something you truly enjoy doing and you want to pursue for a long time. You want to make sure you put a good amount of work into it. But as I've said before, not to the detriment of something else. Everything is about balance. So it is important to make sure that you are balancing out life and work and other responsibilities, family, friends, other relationships, your own health, physical health, mental health, and emotional health. All of these things need to be balanced in life. And if you really lose focus on one of them, it can really throw the entire thing out of whack. So, my ask of you out of this podcast is go ahead and evaluate how much are you filling your two buckets? Are you putting more time into work and it's not the time to do that? It's probably a good time to evaluate and start raising the amount of time you're filling into the things that are improving yourself and improving what you are doing for yourself, your family, your relationships, and the things that you're going to thrive for a long period of time on. Remember, have you forgotten your responsibility? The responsibility to yourself to improve. It's easy to do, and it's easy to focus on the things that are external to us. So remember that you do have a responsibility to yourself to improve. If you have some examples where you have recognized this responsibility and this lack of balance, and you'd like to share your story, please reach out to me at attitudealtitudeacceptance@gmail.com. I'd love to hear the story and share it with others if it is something that you're willing to let me do. Also, as a note, I am offering life coaching and leadership coaching services. So if you're interested in either of these services, I'll link the website below and you can come and fill out the contact information and let me know what you're interested in. We'll then go do a free consultation to see if that kind of coaching relationship is right for you. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Orders for Life. Thank you and have a great day.